Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast, 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. Just to be invited it's a pretty big deal. I mean, well, it is to me. And the very first time I was invited, frankly, I thought a lot of myself because I got the invitation. Truly, I did. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and it's a reality that sometimes the invitation to speak as a speaker, as a motivational speaker, as a leadership speaker, just the invitation alone makes you feel like I've accomplished something, I've arrived. They finally recognize who I am and they notice what I am. And the reality is, as Steve Sieboldsays says, every year about 50,000 people raise their hand and go, I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be a professional speaker. I want to do this. And as Steve Sieboldsays says, in fact, I learned this from him, out of those 50,000, maybe 20, 25,000 will join Toastmasters and realize after they've done their first 10 speeches, this isn't for me. That's a whole lot more work than I thought it was going to be. I wanted to be at the front of the room, but not so much now. And then maybe 5,000 or 6,000 of those will go on to the National Speakers Association and begin the grinding process of actually being trained to be in the platform and how to write content and how to put up with the crowds and how to deal with the in and out of the airplanes and in and out of the limos or in and out of the rental cars and trudging through the snow and dragging your books and packing your books in suitcases so you can get them from one place to another, and all the fun that is the speaking career. And some of them will stick with it and some of them will not, and some of them will pound away at trying to get that marketing opportunity to be on the stage, and some will buy their way onto stages, and some will give up and go back to whatever job they had before they decided that motivational speaker was their career. But many kind of look at the Zig Ziglars and the John Maxwells and the Steve Sieboldsays and they go, I want to be just like that. In fact, John Maxwell says it like this: people come to me every day and they see me walk off the platform and they assume, based on the number of people in the audience, how much they paid for their ticket is how much money I made. That could be quite a sum of money, and they say, I want to do what you do. And John always replies with the same question as an answer. Are you willing to do what I did in order to do what I do? I want you to let that settle in for a minute, because I don't care what your industry is. As a leader, if there's someone you admire in your industry, you better be asking yourself the question now: am I willing to do what they did so I can then do what they do? Because whatever level of success you've achieved in whatever industry, category, segment of the world you operate in, there was a price to be paid to get there. See, the first time I was invited to speak at the Ziglar Corporation, I thought pretty highly of myself. I mean, Zig Ziglar, that's a big name, and this is his corporate headquarters, and this is going to be a great opportunity, and look how famous I'm going to be. And then I realized it was exactly the opposite. In fact, it's humbling, because when I walk in that room, I meet Tom Ziglar. Now, I had the opportunity to speak the very first time at the Ziglar Corporation before Zig passed, and I was not wise enough to humble myself and find an opportunity to get a photo opportunity with the great Zig Ziglar before he left this earth. But I've had several occasions now to speak with Tom, to have coffee with Tom, to just chat. And it's an honor because I have such great respect for his dad. But there's also Bryan, Flanagan, and Scott Schilling, and Jim Gardner, and Susan herself, these are people who are all hanging out in this office. Lori Majors, if you've ever read anything or heard anything by Zig Ziglar, you've heard him talk about the redhead. Well, that's his wife. But Lori Majors was his right hand. John Maxwell has one of those too. His right hand, who without this person probably could have made it through life. Well, Lori Majors was that for Zig Ziglar. And I still get to see her every time I go there, and it humbles my heart. His daughter, Julie, still a brilliant speaker and leader and business developer. And so when I go, I don't look at speaking in front of that room as a huge opportunity that explains my grandeur. No, it's humbling to have the invitation to sit among this group of friends who decades later, I mean, they've been doing this morning devotional since I was in diapers. And they still gather, and they still spend time together, and they still invite someone to lead the devotional from the front of the room. And it's still an opportunity to speak and practice your craft and be in a friendly audience of people who love and care about what you love and care about. But it's also an opportunity to be among friends who honor people that you honor. I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak at the Ziglar morning devotional on Monday. And I would invite you, I challenge you to come and join us. Forrest Ward has already posted some of the information on his timeline. I've shared it on mine. I'll share it again, and it'll be a part of this blog podcast content as well. So it'll be out there on Spotify and Apple and all those others. So you'll be able to find the information in the text below. If you're in the Dallas area, I'm not worth the drive. I wouldn't say that. But on a Monday morning, sometime, 7 o'clock, join us at the Ziglar headquarters. Meet some of these people who have grown up in the shadow of Zig Ziglar, who love and honor what he's done to impact this world, because it's no joke. The old imagery that Zig has used since the late 70s and early 80s of the old pumping the well, and he tells the story about sometimes you got to prime the pump. I don't care what you're doing in life. You've got to put something in before you get anything out. That's just a reality. At any level of success in any industry, you've got to put something in before you get something out. I'm just honored to have a chance to stand in the shadow of a brilliant man whose wit and wisdom has changed the world. I hope to see you on Monday at the Ziglar Morning Devotionals. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Leadership team. If attitude is going to have a deep impact on your business and bottom line, make it a positive attitude with a positive impact. Visit jlorennorris.com/attitude hack